Hi, Scott Kerr here, President of Courthouse Technologies. I'm here with, most of the staff here at Courthouse Technologies for the first edition of Fabulous Feature Friday. It's not actually the very first edition. Fabulous Feature Friday is a thing that from time to time we've done around here at Courthouse Technologies in the past. This is the first time we're bringing it to you, our customers and other interested parties at home. Fabulous Feature Friday is a thing that we do one Friday a month that is designed to give all of us, both the employees here at Courthouse Technologies as well as those of you watching this, a little snippet of something interesting, perhaps a little known feature, some aspect of Courthouse JMS, or some topic that we are experiencing or that has some currency within Courthouse Technologies. So we'll be bringing you many more of these in the foreseeable future. I thought I would kick off the first Fabulous Feature Friday with a topic that we've been working on recently with a customer here. And my topic is on regionalization. So for those courts that have got multiple locations or perhaps have to create pools for a subordinate jurisdiction, another jurisdiction within their area. So if you're a county court, for example, you might have the occasion to create pools for municipal courts. One of the things that you have to do is you have to segregate the records that are in the source list so that you can just pick jurors that belong to that location or that municipality, as the case may be. So how do we handle that in JMS? Well, we use something called regionalization. Regionalization is the word that we use that really means several things that we do both with your data and then structure and configure your application around that regionalization. So if you look on the board behind me here, we have a hierarchical relationship when we're talking about regionalization and your source list data. And starting at the bottom, your source list data will come to us with some form of region in it. And so a region can be the cities that are in the source list. It can be something like a precinct. It can be a polling district or range of polling districts. Or it might even be a zip code or range of zip codes. Sometimes we see something like a county code as well in the source list data. We can use any one of these criteria at the very granular level to identify what region a particular juror record belongs in. Regions can then belong to something called region groups, and region groups can have multiple regions. So for example, where we're using city as regionalization criteria, your source list might contain many records with a city name, but that city name may be misspelled. It might be spelled 10 or 20 or 30 different ways. So you might need to include many versions of city in a region group of the same city name. So this is a way of consolidating a number of records that have similar criteria into a higher order classification system. Region groups can then belong to a specific court location and be assigned to a specific court location. That's the basis of it. So that when you go to create a pool and you need to create a pool for a municipal court, for example, you can simply go into JMS and choose not to use the default, which would be your whole location, but rather to use some region and then select a specific region criteria to do your selection, right? So i.e. the cities that belong to the municipal court and that are part of the municipal court's jurisdiction rather than the larger selection criteria, which would be all of the cities in your county, for example. Okay, so we've got some questions.
When a user would like to create a tool, what would they select? A region, or will they go to select a region group?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the way the software will be configured initially out of the box is all of this regionalization will already be done. And so the location, so if we're talking about, let's say, a county, they'll have a default set of regions already established, or rather a set of region groups, in fact, established for their location. So they don't really have to do anything. They just use the default, and away they go. It includes all of the various regions that may belong to their location. It's only if they need to select fewer than that, if they need to isolate further or more, would they deviate from the defaults. There's a checkbox that they can uncheck that says use default. When that's unchecked, they're then presented with the various region groups from which they can choose pool records. Make sense? Yeah. Other questions? It's, right, region groups and regions, quite right, yeah. And if you're a super user and you have access to more than one location, it will show you multiple locations as well.
So you're saying this might be used for something like a statewide grand jury instance?
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, if you're in one location but you're a super user and you need to select from multiple counties, that might be another instance where you would use that function. So I hope that helps and makes something a little bit clearer. We'll also attach some screenshots so that you get a better picture of how Courthouse JMS might present this to you if you were a user. But for now, that's the first edition of Fabulous Feature Friday. Thanks very much.